Hey everyone, welcome to the show. Have you ever felt that chill, down your spine? That creeping suspicion that someone you trust, really trust, might be hiding like a really dark secret.
Ooh.
Yeah, the kind of unsettling terrain that we're venturing into today with Hollow Ground.
Okay.
It's a gripping a crime fiction novel by Freya Wallace.
Oh, nice.
And don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the twists and turns as we unearth the secrets buried in this deep dive. You can
Yes.
find a link to the book in the description below.
What's so captivating about this book is how it puts the serene beauty of the English countryside right
Right.
next to this chilling reality of disappearances and hidden lives.
Right.
Hollow Ground is the first in a series, and it plunges us into a world where trust becomes, well, a dangerous game.
So imagine the idyllic landscape of Devon, England.
Okay.
It's a place of rolling hills, charming villages, and a dark secret. This is where we meet Detective Inspector Jacob Knox
Yeah.
as he investigates the disappearance of not one, but two women
Oh, wow.
who are linked by a web of unsettling coincidences.
The story kicks off with a disappearance that actually happened 6 months before the main events of the book.
Okay.
Rachel Simmons, a hiker, vanishes without a trace in Dartmoor National Park.
Oh, no.
The lack of clues, well, it
Yeah.
fuels this media frenzy, and it revives these old local myths like the Beast of Dartmoor,
Yeah.
blurring the lines kind of between reality and folklore.
It's interesting how the author uses this element of folklore.
Right.
It's not just like a spooky backdrop, you know what I mean? It
Yeah.
really taps into those primal fears we have
Hmm.
about the unknown,
Yeah.
the things that lurk in the shadows. It sets this tone of unease
Yeah.
right from the start.
Exactly. It primes the reader for all the unsettling events that follow,
Yeah.
Then, just as the community is grappling with Rachel's unsolved disappearance, another woman vanishes.
Sophie Parsons, a schoolteacher and avid hiker, disappears during a solo trip to Dartmoor.
Oh, wow.
Initially, there's uncertainty because Sophie sometimes went off the grid without telling anyone.
Okay.
But her boyfriend, Peter Brooks, discovers a hidden messaging app on her phone
Mm-hmm.
called Hide Chat,
Hi, chat. Okay.
and then later finds her broken phone in the woods.
Oh, wow.
And this discovery throws fuel on the fire, so to speak, of suspicion.
The broken phone is such a clever plot device.
Yeah.
It immediately raises the stakes, and it makes you, the reader, question whether Sophie deliberately went off the grid
Right.
or if something more sinister is at play.
And as Knox digs deeper into this, he uncovers Sophie's secret affair with Ethan Donovan,
Okay.
a colleague at her school.
A colleague.
And the Hide Chat messages reveal their relationship.
Right.
And here's where it gets truly intriguing.
Okay.
Ethan reveals that he had a brief fling
Hmm.
with the first missing woman, Rachel Simmons, back in university.
That's right. This seemingly random connection between Ethan and both of these missing women, it throws suspicion right on him.
It makes you question,
So weird.
is this just a tragic coincidence?
Yeah.
Or is there something more calculated going on here?
Right. Exactly.
It speaks to a common fear.
Right.
What if someone we think we know is capable of something far darker than we could imagine?
It's a classic crime fiction trope, right?
Yeah.
That sense of lurking danger in the familiar.
But what makes Hollow Ground stand out is how it uses these tropes
Right.
to explore these deeper themes,
Hmm.
like the masks we wear
Yeah.
and the secrets we keep, even from those closest to us.
This theme of duality is really woven throughout the narrative.
Right.
Not just in terms of the characters, but also in the setting itself. You
Right.
have the beauty and the tranquility of Dartmoor, contrasted with the darkness of the crimes.
Yeah.
Even the survivalist mentality that plays a role in the story has a duality to it.
Right.
Self-reliance, preparedness, but also a potential for isolation and detachment from society.
It's a brilliant way to create tension and keep the reader guessing. And as Knox tirelessly searches for answers, we see him grappling with his own internal conflicts,
Yeah.
his dedication to his work versus his personal life, his attempts to help his troubled brother, Caleb.
Speaking of Knox's brother Caleb, this subplot adds another layer of complexity to the story.
Right.
It touches on themes of family loyalty, mental health, and the burden of responsibility.
Right.
It shows that even the detective trying to solve these mysteries has his own demons to contend with.
It's a reminder that everyone has a backstory, even those who seem dedicated to upholding the law.
Exactly.
And then as the investigation intensifies, there's a shocking discovery.
Uh-oh.
Rachel Simmons' body is found
Wow.
in a shallow grave.
Oh, no.
The stakes are higher than ever, and the search for Sophie becomes a race against time.
The discovery of Rachel's body marks a turning point in the narrative.
It does.
The investigation shifts from missing persons to murder.
Right.
And the atmosphere becomes even more charged with urgency and dread.
Yeah.
It's a stark reminder of the potential consequences of the secrets and deceptions at play.
And it pushes the investigation towards a specific suspect.
Okay.
A survivalist named Theodore Porter. A man with a disturbing interest in captive women.
Okay.
And a past connection to Rachel. The hunt for Porter leads Knox and his team to Porter's parents' house.
Okay.
And a potential treasure trove of clues, his old laptop.
The introduction of Theodore Porter is a masterful stroke by the author.
Yeah.
Suddenly, the story expands beyond individual characters and their secrets to touch on these broader societal fears.
Right.
The loner, the outsider, the potential threat lurking on the fringes.
It's a chilling reminder that danger can lurk in unexpected places. And in this case, it seems like those fears might be justified, because what Knox finds on Porter's laptop will lead him down a rabbit hole of interconnected lives and dark secrets.
That's right. And that's where we'll pick up in part 2 of our deep dive. We'll explore those new leads, the connections that emerge, and how the case takes even more unexpected turns, spiraling towards a chilling climax. Welcome back to our deep dive into hollow ground. When we left off, Knox had just discovered Theodore Porter's laptop, hoping it held the key to finding Sophie.
Right.
What unfolds, however, is far more complex than anyone could have anticipated.
It's like one of those Russian nesting dolls.
Yeah.
You open one layer and there's another one hidden inside and another and another.
Right.
The story just keeps unfolding in ways you don't expect.
That's a great analogy. The maps on Porter's laptop, instead of leading directly to Sophie, point towards hidden locations that suggest a much, much wider network of secrets.
Right.
And these maps lead Knox to another name, Aaron Burgess.
Okay.
Also involved in the survivalist community.
And here's where the story takes another twist, right? And this isn't just some random survivalist buddy. Aaron Burgess is the brother of Zoe Burgess.
Right.
A young woman who disappeared in London 6 years prior.
Precisely. Suddenly, there are 3 missing women. Rachel, Sophie, and now Zoe. All seemingly connected to these 2 men involved in survivalism.
Right.
It begs the question, is this a coincidence, or is there a more sinister pattern emerging?
It's like the author is daring you to make connections.
Yeah.
To question everything you thought you knew about the characters and their motivations.
Right.
And speaking of motivations, this is where the book delves into the psychology of Theodore Porter, the prime suspect. We learn that his interest in survivalism goes beyond just practical skills. It's rooted in a deep-seated distrust of society and a belief in an impending apocalypse.
This is what makes Porter such a fascinating, albeit unsettling character.
Right.
He's not just a stereotypical villain. He's a product of his experiences, his isolation, and his own warped worldview.
Right.
The author doesn't shy away from portraying his disturbing ideology. His belief that he's chosen to repopulate the world after the inevitable collapse.
It's a chilling reminder that extremism can take root anywhere, even in those who seem outwardly ordinary.
Absolutely.
It makes you wonder about the fine line between preparedness and paranoia.
Yeah.
And how easily someone can cross that line.
Absolutely. And it forces us to confront the uncomfortable truth that sometimes those who seem most harmless can harbor the darkest secrets.
Yeah.
Hollow Ground doesn't just offer thrills and suspense. It challenges us to look beyond the surface and consider the complexities of human nature.
And as we delve deeper into Porter's psyche, we see how his twisted logic justifies his actions.
Yeah.
His desire for control, his belief in his own righteousness.
Right.
It's a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked ideology. But amidst this exploration of darkness, the author also highlights the theme of resilience, particularly through Sophie's character.
Yes, even as she's trapped in this terrifying situation, Sophie never gives up hope. She demonstrates remarkable courage, not just in her own fight for survival, but also in her protection of a young boy.
Yeah.
George, who's also being held captive by Porter.
It's almost as if Sophie's spirit refuses to be broken.
Yeah.
Even in the face of unimaginable trauma, her determination to escape, to protect George, is a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of circumstances, the human spirit can endure.
And her actions also highlight the importance of human connection,
Yes.
even in the most unlikely of places. Despite the horrors they've experienced, Sophie and George find solace and strength in each other.
Their bond is a beacon of hope in the midst of the darkness. And this contrast between hope and despair is what makes Hollow Ground such a compelling read.
Right.
It's not just a cat and mouse chase between a detective and a criminal.
Yeah.
It's a nuanced exploration of the human condition, our vulnerabilities, our capacity for both good and evil, and our ability to find strength even in the most challenging circumstances.
And it's this exploration of human nature that keeps the reader on the edge of their seat, both horrified and hopeful at the same time.
Right. The story takes us on a roller coaster of emotions as the investigation culminates in a tense raid on Aaron Burgess's secluded farmhouse.
Okay.
The discovery of a hidden tunnel leading to an underground lair raises the stakes even further.
Oh, wow.
Could Sophie still be alive?
The setting of the underground lair adds a layer of claustrophobia and suspense.
Yeah.
It's a tangible representation of the secrets and darkness that have been hidden beneath the surface all along.
It's like descending into the heart of the mystery.
Right.
And the confrontation that unfolds between Knox and Theodore Porter is nothing short of gripping.
Yeah.
The truth about Porter's motives, his apocalyptic delusions, and his twisted plan for repopulation, it all comes to light in a tense standoff.
This final confrontation is a masterclass in building suspense.
Yeah.
The reader is left wondering, will Sophie be rescued?
Right.
What will become of young George? Will Knox finally bring Porter to justice?
The climax of Hollow Ground is both thrilling and heartbreaking. We witness Sophie's daring escape with George.
Yeah.
The desperate pursuit through the treacherous terrain of Dartmoor, and the final tragic confrontation with Porter that leaves lasting consequences for everyone involved.
And that's where we'll pick up in the final part of our deep dive. We'll explore the resolution of the case, the aftermath of the trauma, and the lingering questions that Hollow Ground leaves us with.
Welcome back to the deep dive.
Yeah.
We've spent this episode unearthing the secrets buried deep within Hollow Ground. You know, a book that really takes us on this harrowing journey through the beauty and darkness of the human experience. But what lingers? You know what I mean? After that final page is turned.
Right.
What truths about ourselves and the world around us does this story leave us pondering?
For me, it's the enduring power of hope. Even in the face of unimaginable trauma, Sophie's escape from captivity, her determination to protect young George, it's a testament to the strength of the human spirit and our capacity for resilience.
Absolutely. And that resilience isn't just about physical survival, right? It's also about the psychological and emotional strength to confront the aftermath of trauma, the scars that are left behind by the darkness.
Yeah.
Hollow Ground doesn't offer easy answers or quick fixes,
Right.
It really acknowledges the long road to healing,
Yeah.
the complexities of processing such a harrowing experience.
And that's one of the things that makes this book so powerful. It doesn't shy away from the lasting impact of trauma, both on the individual and the community. We see this not only in Sophie's journey, but also in Knox's struggle with his own personal demons, his guilt over his brother's fate.
Right. Hollow Ground reminds us that even those who, dedicate their lives to fighting darkness, to upholding justice, aren't immune to the shadows.
Yeah.
It's a nuanced exploration of the human condition, the vulnerabilities we all carry, the complexities of good and evil, and the constant struggle for balance between the two.
And this complexity is reflected in the resolution of the case itself. While there's a sense of justice in Porter's capture, it's a bittersweet victory. Lives have been lost, innocence shattered, and the scars left behind, they will likely never fully heal.
It's a reminder that even when the bad guy is caught, the ripple effects of their actions continue to spread. The community of Dartmoor, the families of the victims, even Knox himself, they're all forever changed by the events that unfolded.
And that brings us to one of the most compelling takeaways from Hollow Ground, the power of setting. Dartmoor, with its wild beauty and ancient myths, becomes more than just a backdrop. It's a character in itself, a force that shapes the lives and destinies of those who enter its domain.
It's a place of both escape and entrapment, a reflection of the duality we see in the characters and their choices. The isolation of Dartmoor can be both alluring and dangerous, a sanctuary for those seeking solitude, but also a potential hiding place for those seeking to exploit its secrets.
And just like the Moors themselves, the characters in Hollow Ground hold hidden depths. From Sophie's resilience to Porter's chilling descent into extremism, from Knox's dedication to duty to Ethan's web of deceit, each character challenges us to look beyond the surface and confront the complexities of human nature.
It's a story that stays with you long after that final page, prompting us to ask ourselves, like, these difficult questions about the nature of trust, the masks we wear, and the choices we make in the face of darkness. So as we conclude this deep dive into Hollow Ground, we're left with a sense of awe at the power of storytelling to transport us, challenge us, and ultimately leave us with more questions than answers. What about you? What moments, themes, or characters resonated most deeply with you?
What stands out for me is the reminder that even in a world where darkness exists, we have the power to choose how we respond to it. We can choose hope, resilience, and connection, just like Sophie did. Or we can succumb to fear, isolation, and the allure of control, like Theodore Porter. The choice ultimately is ours.
That's a powerful message, and one that I think we can all carry with us. And if you're listening, we'd love to hear your thoughts on Hollow Ground. Share your favorite moment, your lingering questions, or your own interpretations of the book's themes in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.